Hello friends, and welcome to my video exploring the two options with the 7735H processor, the Beelink SER6 Pro and the Minisforum Series UM773. So the reason I'm making this video is I originally ordered this computer. Why did I order this one? Is that it had a version, you see this on the back, with the display port. And the reason I also ordered it was, you see this port over here? That's supposed to be a USB 4.0 port. Long story short, I couldn't get the port to work either in Windows 10 or Windows 11 that it came with. So unfortunately, this one is going back. But before it's going back, I decided to do a head-to-head video and explain to you the reasons why I liked these PCs, at least this one. And most likely, if this is uploaded, that this guy's USB 4 port works perfectly, and then I could use it with a device like this. You see this over here? That's an Anchor USB 4 hub. On one end, it could do 85 watt power delivery, and on the other end, it has 3 USB 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and it allows this Sonnet Solo 10 gigabit Ethernet Thunderbolt 3 card. So back to the original point. I like mini PCs. I like their power efficiency. I like that this is the 6nm FinFET process, and I like that this has the USB 4 port. For me, I tried many different options, and I couldn't get this port to work in this one, and hopefully it works in this one. Otherwise, I'm thinking about returning maybe both, but I did enjoy making this work really nicely. So let's quickly go through the listing and to see what we have here. All right, so the first one that I ordered was the Minisforum, the Beelink. It's 519. And there's a version with 2 HDMI ports and one with HDMI and DisplayPort. What I found with the DisplayPort on this device is that it was not giving me the FreeSync option that I would have normally on my monitor. I have a 32-inch, it's several years old now, 1440p 75 Hz monitor. But the FreeSync option, it wasn't giving me the AMD control panel for this device. So this guy is going back. And now I'm going to be trying out this one. The Minisforum UM773. You see how many different options they have? What I like about this one is that it has the same graphics card as the 6900HS, but it's on a 6nm process. And what I'm actually liking more about this one is that it looks like it has, it feels a little bit more solid than the other one. Let's quickly explore this processor that is inside this unit. The 7735 EHS. And I like that there's a 35 to 54 watt draw. On this PC in the BIOS, when you hit delete or F10, you could actually change it to be up to 45 watts. So you see it says 35 to 54 watts. It uses the 6nm process and DDR5 memory. What I like about both units is they come with 32 gigs DDR5 memory. Why that's convenient is because in the BIOS you could set the graphics that it uses to be 8 gigabytes. So out of the 32, you have 24 left for Windows and other programs that you have on the PC. So going on to the processor. So DDR5, both have the DDR5 4800 megahertz and the Radeon 680M. This is RDNA 2. The latest one is RDNA 3. That's the 7940HS, but that comes with laptops already with a graphics card. My specific idea was that I wanted the most power efficient mini PC possible, so I didn't even want an extra graphics card, whether AMD or NVIDIA in it. But so far, the RDNA 3 cards are at 7940 HS, and that comes in laptops. So let's quickly go through the Minisforum. That's nice design. Come on, guys. The high-speed USB 4 port. I mean, you better make it work. That's the reason why I got it. So let's quickly look at all sides of this. So this is the sizes of these guys compared to each other, side by side, height-wise. Pretty much the same size. But I'll be honest, getting this one, I kind of feel that this feels slightly more substantial and more solid. Why I didn't get this originally was I wanted a display port, but since the display port in this one wasn't giving me FreeSync option in the thing, it doesn't matter if I use DisplayPort or HDMI then with the monitor that I have, because it was supposed to be FreeSync over DisplayPort. What I like about both is both have 2.5 gigabit LAN on them. This is over here is a USB 2.0 port on the Beelink, if I understand it correctly, because see, it's black instead of blue. And you see, but both of these are USB 3.2 Gen 2, so these are 10 gigabit ports. Oh, and it has two USB 2.0 ports on the front. So head to head, this one has twice as many ports on the back, USB ports at least. And it has the 2.5 gigabit LAN. And on the front where it matters, it has the USB 4 port and a super speed 10 gigabit port. And this one has 10 gigabit, and USB 4 port, which wasn't working for me. So this might be just defective in my unit, or it might be on all of them. Because what happened was when I plugged this guy in directly into the front, over here, the Sonnet, it works perfectly on my Mac Pro. It would detect, but it wouldn't work. I wouldn't be able to get the 10 gigabit network connection. And the idea with this is that I wanted the hub, and the hub, since it can deliver up to 100 watts, it could actually power this PC right from the USB 4 port. But it wasn't working well, and I couldn't get my internet to work, and I have two of these. I have two different versions. I have the Ethernet one and this SFP Plus one. The SFP Plus one would work for like a minute or two, and then it would stop working. And this anchor port, what I like about this unit is that it provides 85 watt power delivery, which is really nice. It feels nice. It uses 20 volt power. What's cool about 20 volt power is that the power brick, if you know what you're doing and you get a power delivery cable, you could convert it to a USB-C port type of option on the power brick. There are things called USB-C trigger cables. So what you need is a USB-C power delivery trigger, and then you could take the original cord, cut it off, and plug an Anderson into it. So because power delivery can do up to 100 watts, and the power brick was exactly 100 watts and 20 volts, USB-C power delivery voltage is also 20 volts. When you get the 20 volt trigger, you can get the 20 volt, the 15 volt, the 12 volt, and all the other things. You can basically power a lot of things off the DC port. So, but this is really cool. What I wanted is a device that I could even plug into a battery pack that has USB-C power delivery port, 100 watts, and use that. There's a couple different options. I like the WookieTel, for example. WookieTel. And that's the Mac Pro. I mean, it's this unit. I've tested it with my Mac Pro, and it works perfectly. I'm getting internet. I'm getting the charging. I'm getting the 10 gigabit network connection. This is a fantastic combination. And I'm hoping to connect it to this unit now and make this unit work nicely. So since this unit's USB 4 port didn't work for me, maybe it will work for somebody else. But look, let me put it to you this way. If the USB 4 port doesn't work, I'm going to make an addition to this video and say that the USB 4 port didn't work. But if I just end the video here and I'm not coming back to it, then my USB 4 port did work. And I was able to get my 10 gigabit networking card working. And USB 4 for me is very important. And that's one of the things that AMD, I feel, was missing until now with his USB 4 ports. What else do I like about this? I like the cooling design. You see, the all around is a mesh, and I feel like the cooling is much more substantial on this unit, with a lot of heat fins on the back. I like that it has both USB 2.0 ports. There's everything that I'm liking about this Minisforum. Minisforum, so far, looks like you've done a really great job with this unit. So basically it's like taking these two ports and put them in the back instead. I like this USB-C ports in the front better. So why else do I like this unit? I like that it has 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, which is good, which is 2.5 times faster. Inside this unit, you could plug in, you could replace the SSD in there. Right now, there's a unit that you could buy relatively inexpensively, a 4 terabyte unit. You just unscrew these 4 screws over here, and inside there's 2 screws over here by the SD interface, SATA interface. 2 screws here, 1 screw up here, and 1 screw over here, and 1 long one over here. You unplug those, you pull it up, and you could change the NVMe drive to a 4 terabyte. I recommend the Sabrent enclosures because you could clone the operating system right onto it. So using the Sabrent, because it gives you a Cronus clone image. So, all right, my friends, tell me what you think, and put it comments down below. What's your experience with these units? So goodbye, Beelink. Good job on it. I've enjoyed it. But USB 4 is a deal breaker for me. I need my USB 4 working. But, you know, obviously I'm going to keep one of these. This is most likely already on the way through Amazon returns. And this one is going to be kept because USB 4 should work on it. But if it doesn't, I'll be like, phew. Oh, by the way, driver easy. If you want to use Windows 10 with this, and just clone your old operating system, I'll link you guys. Looking this over, so this is the 2 different ones that we like here. Both are similarly priced, the Minisforum and the Beelink. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a nice thumbs up, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye, my friends. All right, friends, this is a continuation of the video, and I call this section Another One Bites the Dust. Before this section, you saw some videos of photos of the inside. So my realization is that I want to keep the Beelink. I'm going to explain to you why. I noticed that because the Beelink, I got the version with the DisplayPort on the back. Because it has a DisplayPort, it seems that I'm getting my Windows 10-bit color with the DisplayPort on. And with this, I've been only getting 8-bit color. That's definitely a difference in color. And also, I seem to have found that the Beelink is snappier. Oh, and the USB 4, it's, I believe, an issue with Windows, with its implementation of the thing. And perhaps maybe it's just those Ethernet adapters. But the funny thing is, I have two types. I have the Ethernet one, the one that plugs into one of these, and I have the SFP Plus version. It's the highest rated one on Amazon, at least the ones that I saw, that it seems to work very well. So I tried it on a different Mac Pro. I have a smaller one than my 16-inch here, and the internet works perfectly on it. Both of them, and the hub connects. So what did I find with this one? In Windows 10 and Windows 11, the hub doesn't seem to connect, and it can't seem to do the networking with the SONET and the USB 4. Also, what I noticed, I didn't hear any sound when I plugged in my Anchor USB 4 Thunderbolt hub. I mean, it says USB 4 here, so my Thunderbolt hub should have worked. So I was excited originally about this item, but also I found what also is lacking on this one that the Beelink has is the expandability of putting in a 2.5-inch SSD drive. So I think that's kind of nice because you can, upgrade the drive capacity and put in an extra SSD, let's say, just for work purposes. It's really good to have. So this one doesn't have the SSD capabilities, and it's slightly larger in size. There's some, pluses and minuses, but perhaps the biggest minus is that the Minisforum doesn't have a version with a DisplayPort and an HDMI. And Beelink certainly nailed it, that they put both a DisplayPort and an HDMI, and perhaps just because this one has a couple extra USB ports doesn't really mean much, because you could plug in USB hubs into the subject. So originally I thought the Beelink was gonna go, but now that I notice with this one, and also for some reason, I feel perhaps maybe I was noticing a snappier performance with the Beelink. Perhaps maybe because it was connected with DisplayPort, and that's slightly nicer hertz. Also 10-bit color depth. To me, the difference in the color depth makes a difference, because if my monitor can do 10-bit color, might as well. I think there's a slight color performance and beauty of the colors that my monitor was able to get because I was powering it off the DisplayPort as opposed to the HDMI. But perhaps with newer monitors and perhaps with other monitors, the 10-bit displays, no problem over HDMI. Just with my specific use case, the DisplayPort works better, and I'm glad I had the DisplayPort in that. And I'm glad that I was able to get this unit to test it out and find that the original one that I ordered was probably the better one. So why I probably would go for the Beelink, the specific one that I ordered with the DisplayPort, is because it's kind of nice to have a DisplayPort and an HDMI. I like the upgradability of the other one, and it seems that that unit is slightly nicer on the inside. I mean, This one, what was really cool about it is that over the hard drive, it had a really big cooling fins, aluminum cooling fins, so it could transport it. But the Beelink has a cooling fan. But if you put a hard drive on top of it, the cooling fan is probably going to be blocked. But the hard drive is probably worth it to have in that unit. Also, upgradability wise, the Beelink was a little bit easier. See, on these ones, you have to actually peel this, peel these little, you know, feet away, and then you put them back. And over here, it's kind of looks kind of ugly. You see, you have to peel through this plastic. So perhaps this is another design issue. Both come with Windows 11 Pro. Both come with 32 gigs of RAM. I mean, the Minisforum, it's great. It's a great computer, I guess. But yeah, the Beelink is the winner in this case. This Beelink, the SER6 Pro, the one with the display port on it. And I was also able to clone Windows 10 to it from a previous computer I was using. And it just seems that same operating system, when I plugged it into this one, was running a little bit slower than on the Beelink. So the Beelink is the winner to me, but you guys have a discussion in the video description below. Always happy to hear that. But I'm sure there's a lot of you that are thinking between this one and the Beelink and which one is better. And that's why the 4K video is kind of nice, that you could actually feel it in hand and look at all the different functions on it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Let's get this technology stuff focused. And yeah. Oh, also, this is one of those things. This is a completely plastic chassis. The Beelink is actually aluminum. Over here on this side is aluminum, I believe, or at least on the bottom. The bottom part is designed to be opened, closed. I had a much better experience with this one. This metal black casing looks great, but I think the Beelink is actually slightly higher quality now that I've had a chance to be inside this computer and checking out all the other data in it. All right, friends, so this is the unit that's going back. I mean, same issue, USB 4. Perhaps maybe it's the Sonnet card, the Sonnet 10 GBE cards that don't work well specifically with USB 4. Maybe because they were made for Thunderbolt 3, but on the Mac Pros, they work fine. So that's kind of weird. Perhaps it's a Windows implementation. I'm going to have to check out other Thunderbolt specifications, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. I'm still waiting for a Sabrent version of the 10 GBE card. So perhaps if I plug that one in, it's going to work with the 10 GBE. But I don't know. But 5 GB is fine. I have the Sabrent 5 GB on that computer. It's running fast. But 2.5 gigabit Ethernet is also pretty fast enough too, because if you think about it, even if you have fiber optic LAN, you have fiber optic is usually 1 GB. So if you upgrade it to 2.5 GB, you could still get the full speed of the internet right to this computer. So whether you pick that one, the Beelink, or this one, I mean, it's your choice. That's my conclusion to the situation. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and check out my other videos. So goodbye, Minisforum Venus Elite. The Beelink stays. The Beelink is the one to stay. God bless America. And feel great today, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.